Hey guys, Infinity with GameReplays.org back with you here today. We're doing another Battlefield 2 patch 1.09 V2 commentary. This is a game between Luxus and Imperious. This is one of the matches they played recently, I believe today or yesterday, as part of the top 10 ranking challenge matches. Um, you can find more information about that in the description of the video, but basically, Luxus is currently, I believe he was number 5 in the top 10 rankings, and then Imperious, I believe, was previously number 6. So this is a 1 versus 1 match between them both on the map Fords of Anduin. Basically, Fords of Anduin is a reskin of the popular 1 versus 1 map, Fords of Eisen, that people played a ton many years ago when the servers were still up, and it's still a very popular map now. Although it is kind of boring to see that still being played in most games. But this is a random error. I do not know what matchup this is. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so on the top we have Luxus, who aka Best Enemy. He's the Elven player. And then on the bottom, this is Imperious, so he's Men. So this is a random mirror, it appears. So Elves has gone far sight. He's scouting. He knows it's Men. He's expecting a 4 barracks. So Imperious is actually... Well, this is a kind of a strange build order. I have not seen this build order recently. So he's going 1 farm and he's going stable. Luxus is going the typical standard 2 tree. Looks like he's going for a 3rd tree rack start. So I'm kind of curious now. Imperious hasn't picked the PowerPoint yet. It'll be interesting to see what he picks. I believe Gondor Knights are 600 or maybe 550, so only 1 farm early. Now he has 2 farms right now. This kind of does work against Elves. Elves will typically, I mean, your units with the start he did, Knights are going to be a little bit delayed out, but the stable did come up very quickly, so the Knights are 550, but Elves typically starts with a creep, and he's going 1 Lorien Archer, and what he's doing is he's going to try to creep this middle warg here. So just a quick overview of the map. There's wargs on both sides in the middle, and then on top, and then on the top right and left we have a cave troll. So what Luxus is doing, instead of creeping right away, he's trying to see if there's going to be... Okay, so he recognized there's a builder there. He knows he can't kill this building. Okay. And he's thinking maybe there's going to be knights. So he's being cautious. He doesn't know what Imperious is doing right now. So we see Imperious has gone with the stable delete, so it's going to be very imperative for him to keep this knight alive. And Luxus, he doesn't know. He finally knows there's cavalry rather, but he does not have a pike out yet. So unfortunately, these Lorien warriors are going to be taken down really easily. He did a nice job of kind of flanking there, but Luxus, he's trying to save these, you know, but I think it's going to be difficult to kind of save this small battalion of Lorien warriors. So now Imperious is trying to trample. Luxus has done a good job of microing his pikes around. And if I'm Imperious right now, I'm probably thinking you got to run these guys around. You got to make them defend. I mean, trying to trample is good and all, but I'm not sure if I like. Yeah, I'm definitely not sure if I like this. This is he's lost a couple knights, 3 knights in that 1 battalion, and he should be trying to stretch these units out. He should be trying to stretch the Elven units out. I mean, he's got Luxus caught. Luxus is gonna lose one of these archers, or maybe, well, he's got these two. He might be able to save it. But I don't like this early. Now, at the same time, Imperious, obviously, he's got 4 farms now. His eco is really not touched. But Luxus' eco really hasn't been either. I mean, he's lost a few units, but and he's got to be careful. You don't want to lose this knight here. He's lucky he got this knight to level 2. I'm not sure who's on host right now, but so I would say early things are looking pretty good for. And wow, this is a little bit unfortunate. So Imperious, he didn't have a unit being produced, and this pike, pikes in Battle for Middle-earth 2 are very strong against production buildings rather. And so these 2 soldiers, I think, that were going up here that Imperious sent, and he had the knight running around, it didn't really do a lot of impact. So Luxus hasn't lost any of his units. I think he still might have. He might have lost. No, I think he even has this lore. He hasn't lost any of his starting units. So this is actually pretty rough start for the men player. I mean, he had the element of surprise at first, but and okay, it looks like Luxus. He still hasn't lost. The glorious Lorian warrior survives. And we see all the time, Luxus's eco hasn't been touched, and he's been able to get some knights out of his own. So he's got lancers out, and then the men player's really on the back foot here. I mean, he's expanded up top kind of nicely, but I mean, this is not looking too good for the men player early. One thing about this game is, Battle for Middle-earth 2 does allow you some, if you make mistakes early, it's not going to be impossible for you to come back. But losing that many units that he did early, and losing the forward racks like he did, with really making no impact whatsoever. Like, the point of the forward racks is you want to put a lot of pressure on your opponent early. You want to do a lot of damage early. If you fail to do that, you're setting yourself on the back foot. And I just think it's going to be really difficult for the men player to get himself back in this game. I'm trying to figure out where this, the stable's down here. So that's kind of an interesting location, but very smart by Luxus too. Because he knows the men player, he expanded initially up middle, and he really hasn't put any pressure on any of Luxus's buildings, and he hasn't really scouted the south, so he's banking on Luxus not really, or he's banking on Imperious not really going that direction, and he's running his units around very smartly. So this is what Imperious should have done early in the game. I feel he put too much emphasis on trying to trample units, and he really didn't stretch the units out. They were all just in one place. So now here it looks like Imperious is going to try to, he's got a creep. His eco's behind. He's sort of bleeding in money right now. He's had to destroy a lot of his buildings. He lost a couple resource buildings as well. And then he's gone a stable, and he's gone Rohirrim. I don't know if that, he needs a stable, but and you definitely need cavalry. I don't know if I would have gotten Rohirrim this early. I mean, I probably would have gotten a few Gondor Knights, try to get Aemir out. But he doesn't have a lot of units on the field right now, and he has not put a lot of pressure on his opponent. I mean, this is the first time he's really sent units up through the bottom part of the river, so let me see what Luxus is doing. He's got counter to Rohirrim. He's got Arwen. Elves, really, if you think about it, have so many counters to cavalry. I mean, they've got Arwen, they've got Legolas, Thranduil, Haldir, So I mean, this expensive decision to go for Rohirrim this early, I think, is a major mistake. Um, we see, Imperious got Boromir out. Boromir's certainly a very valuable hero, especially for men against elves. So he's already level 4, or he gets Horn of Gondor at level 3, but he's already level 4. He's leveled up really early. In big fights, that Horn of Gondor is very important in this matchup. I think Boromir is going to get caught a little bit here. Horn of Gondor is going to slow it down a little bit, but we see Luxus has Haldir out, so Luxus is pretty much lost. I think he lost this one tree here. I think that's the only building he's lost all game. And then there, he's lost both of his Rohirrim. I would say it's GG at this point. I would say he lost, and he's going to call it. I would say he lost the game within the first 5 minutes, just with some of the decisions he made, the lack of impact on getting any of Luxus's economy down early. Like I said, Luxus didn't lose a single building till that one tree, and that one tree didn't have any impact whatsoever. So it's a very quick game, but hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you learned something. So see you all in the next video.